Okay. Well, my name is Theron Causey. I am an attorney here at McIntyre Elder Law. Thank you to all of you queuing in and listening today, joining us for our episode. I have with us a special guest this afternoon. Allow her to introduce herself in just a moment. But to all of our listeners, we will be discussing a host of topics today, mostly with respect to what our special guest is here to promote and the message that she's going to share with us. So please go ahead and tell us a little bit about who you are and the program that you're involved with.
Sure. So my name is Emily Colson, and I manage both the WIC and senior nutrition programs for Union County here in North Carolina. My history is actually mostly with the WIC program. And I started out in Illinois, kind of doing direct service with the WIC program. And then I moved here to North Carolina and saw this job opening, and it just happened to come with the senior nutrition program, which I did not know much about when I first started working here. And I've been here about 3 years now. And oh my gosh, this program has just blown me away with the impact that it has and just all of the different things that it does to help improve the lives of seniors. So we really appreciate this opportunity to get the word out about the program. So thanks again for having us.
Absolutely. Well, Ms. Colson, thank you so much for coming on. And as you all might have heard, she is one of the many people working to, I think, in so many words, make the world a little bit a better place. Starting at a community level. So I heard you correctly in that you were working with Union County government. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Okay.
Yes.
One of the local counties here that's actually a neighbor to Mecklenburg County, to Charlotte, right? With, I believe, Monroe being the county seat. Is that right?
Yeah. We're right southeast. We're the county right southeast of Mecklenburg County. So, yep. And then Monroe is our county seat, and that's where we're located at.
Okay. Very good. So, and you had said that I think you've been doing this for about 3 years now, and moved from Michigan. Is that right?
Illinois.
Okay.
Out there in the Midwest. Yeah.
Very good. So were you involved in any sort of similar programs before your transition to North Carolina?
Sort of, but kind of on the opposite end of the life spectrum. So the WIC program is women, infants, and children. Mm-hmm. So it primarily serves pregnant women and, the babies and children up until they turn 5 years old. So, but really, when I was in school and working towards becoming a registered dietitian, the experiences that really stuck out to me were the ones working with food insecure people, no matter how old they were. And so getting to have this opportunity to work with both ends of the life spectrum, I've learned a lot about the different needs of the elderly population as compared to young families. But yeah, so I was in the WIC program for, about 5 years before we moved here. So about 8 years in total working with the food insecure population.
And I can totally relate to, what you just said with respect to, the various needs of different people at different stages in their life, right? Whether it be starting a new family and the demands that accompany, bringing new life into the world, and all that whirlwind of change that accompanies, right, a new addition to a family. And then, of course, as you age, when you're looking toward retirement, and as you become a senior citizen, what kind of resources, what kind of opportunities are available to you, either at the community level, state level, whatever it might be. So tell us a little bit about the senior nutrition program. What is that?
So most people would recognize it as Meals on Wheels.
Okay.
Maybe. And so we are a Meals on Wheels member. But our program, like most counties' programs, don't just involve that Meals on Wheels home delivered meals component. We offer meals in a couple different settings. We do the Meals on Wheels. So we have home delivery of both hot and frozen meals all across our county. And we primarily deliver hot meals to clients who live in close proximity to one of our meal sites. And then Union County gets pretty rural in some parts. And
It
so getting a
does.
hot meal out to them isn't really feasible. So we are able to provide our more rural seniors with frozen meals. And then we also have our meal sites, our Congregate meal sites, where seniors who are able to get around pretty well, whether they drive themselves or we can have Union County transportation pick them up and bring them to the sites. It's just an opportunity for them to congregate, have a meal together. There's a site manager there who like directs an activity each day, like chair yoga or bingo or different activities like that. So it's just a really great social interaction opportunity.
And I believe I was reading a little bit on some of the website information that you all have put forth, which I want you to share in just a bit. But I was reading about, I think, some of the goals that the program is oriented toward include providing support, education, personal interaction, and overall promoting nutritional, physical, and social well-being. Would you say that's a fair characterization of the efforts there?
Yeah, absolutely. The Meals on Wheels official motto is more than a meal. And that exactly what you said. We encompass all that. It's a meal and it is a meal, and that's important, but it is so much more than just that meal. It's the social interaction that not only the seniors who go to the sites get, but the seniors who get the home delivered meals get that interaction with the volunteers or the staff people, and they're connected with one of our staff members reaches out at least every 6 months to check in and do just like a check-in and see how things are going, if anything's changed, if there's any resources they need, are they able to get their medications, and we're able to connect them to different resources like that if that's something that they need. So it is a meal, and we are a meal program, but it is so much more than that.
So it sounds like almost like a proactive measure for some community outreach, right? Starting with a meal and leading into whatever else may manifest or present itself.
Yes. Yeah. So we try to get familiar with lots of different community partners, and we work with food pantries and the Council on Aging, and just lots of different partners so that we're able to connect our seniors with what they might need.
So if I wanted to, if I wanted a meal, would that be something that I could go do? What are some of the basic qualifiers to being part of this program or being a recipient of the services?
So in general, you'd have to be 60 years or older.
Okay.
And I say in general because a person who's 60 years old, if they have a spouse who's younger than 60 years old, as long as that spouse is participating, as long as the 60-year-old spouse is participating, the other spouse also qualifies to receive meals.
Okay.
So 60 years and over. And we do like an initial assessment where we determine like if somebody's homebound or not. If you're pretty well able to drive around, we would encourage you to go to our Congregate site. So we kind of try to reserve the home delivered meals for seniors who are truly homebound. But that we don't have any like income requirements or anything like that. So really just we look for, are you 60 and over, and are you ambulatory or homebound?
Sure. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And as far as the congregation centers or points, is that something that you all furnish to the public or publish somewhere on your website?
Yeah, so we have 4 locations across the county, and they are published on our website. And we've got brochures that we give out at the different types of events that we go to, and we share them with our community partners that they're able to share with seniors who might want to participate.
Okay. And if I wanted to, if I was a senior and I felt like maybe this would apply to me, live local in the area, is that something that I would go online to sign up for, or how would I become part of this whole thing?
Yeah, you can. So we have an online referral form. It's at unioncountync.gov/seniormeals.
Okay.
There's a link to an online referral form on there. And we have also got a phone number that's listed on that website that you could call. And we get kind of a mix. We get probably about, I don't know, 2/3 of our referrals come from online, and the rest are phone calls.
Okay. Gotcha. And I guess, so if I'm on the opposite side of that, and maybe I'm just looking to engage in this sort of program and be a part of it. Maybe somebody similarly situated to myself, mid-30s. How could I help? What could I do to be a part of all that?
We have a great need for volunteers to home deliver the hot meals. We run 29 routes each day. So we serve about between 260 and 280 hot meals each day. And those are all delivered by volunteers. So we've got a group of about a little over 200 volunteers, but especially with like rising gas prices recently, rising prices of everything, we've had a really hard time recruiting and retaining volunteers. So that is one really big need that we have right now.
So you all hear that. If you have some time, if it's the weekend, whatever it might be, for our weekend warriors, this is a great opportunity to go out and engage the community and engage with folks that can certainly benefit from, that companionship, that interaction, and just, it's a wholesome activity that'll leave you feeling good at the end of the day, if anything. So certainly a great volunteer opportunity there, from the sounds of it. Now, with respect to, it sounds like there's a lot going on. Hundreds of meals going out each day, and multiple routes all over the place. A pressing need for volunteers. Can you talk a little bit about how, where does this program come from? Who's responsible for putting this forth?
So it originated out of the Older Americans Act back in 1972, I believe, back in the early 70s. The federal government mandated that, states provide a nutrition program. And so in North Carolina, it's a pass-through from the federal government through the state to each separate county. So each county runs their own program individually. So like, I'm not sure if you've talked to the folks who run the one in Mecklenburg County, or it runs a little bit differently. Like at the end of the day, it's all similar. We all provide meals to seniors, but we all just kind of run it a little bit differently. But it did originate out of the Older Americans Act.
I have to say that it has been my experience that from a county by county comparison, they seem to do things a little differently everywhere you might go, which makes the practice of law a really, really fun experience for people that practice in different counties, right?
Yeah, so. I bet. Rightfully so, though. I mean, the seniors here in Union County probably have different needs than a lot of the seniors in Mecklenburg County. So we definitely appreciate that flexibility, but I'm sure it makes your job interesting and fun.
It keeps us on our toes. I'll tell you, it's a lifelong learning position, and I welcome it as such. So we talked, I think, a little bit about the overall purpose of the program, some of the basic qualifiers, which again, to recap, if I heard you correctly, it's that you're of the age of 60 or older. If you're a accompanying spouse, as long as that the qualifying spouse is participating, right, then they can come as well. That it's something that's related to a county level service. So if you're a resident of Union County, this could potentially apply to you. And then overall, I think with respect to the goals involved, right, just a wholesome approach at building a community and making it better, right? What other information do you think would be important that you would like to share with our listeners?
That is a great question. I would just share that we exist, and that we're here to serve. Currently, we serve about 600 seniors in total, and in a county of 250,000, there's no way that's it. So, just if you would know of somebody who is 60 years or older and is in need of some assistance with food, maybe needs, social interaction, somebody who might be isolated at home. We're here to provide that social interaction and the meals and connection to other services. And then, like we talked about with the volunteer opportunities, if you know of anybody who might have some spare time in the mornings, to help us deliver those meals, it's one thing that I've held on to, like moving into the management and not so much the direct day-to-day service. Like this morning, I went and delivered a meal route. It's just one thing I don't want to let go of, just because it's so impactful. And you get to talk to those seniors, and you might be the only person that they talk to that whole day, and you might provide the only meal that they get all day. And so it just makes my heart so full. So
well, I can tell, Ms. Colson, that you truly believe in what you do and why you do it, and that it's certainly purpose driven. Folks, if you're listening, that would be what I would call a call to action. Okay, to volunteer or to just speak up if you know of someone that could benefit from these services. It's a free service, right, offered by the county. There are multiple ways to reach out. I believe that you mentioned the website that you could go to is unioncountync, as in North Carolina, .gov, unioncountync.gov. And I think we had a / seniormeals. So that would be a good starting point for anybody that's looking to find out more information beyond what was discussed today. And then there should be some other resources on there as well to reach out by phone. So those are great ways that you can do that, to either sign up for this program and be a recipient, or to volunteer. And I think that, whether it's one or the other, or perhaps both, there will definitely be some value derived or gained from participating in such a great program. So, Ms. Colson, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to come on to the Elder Law Report today and speak with me, and give me the time of day with all my questions, annoying questions. I know that our listeners are familiar with our purpose, our purpose here at the firm, which is simply to provide quality legal services as it relates to estate planning and elder law in general. To that end, I'd say that we have probably some very similar experiences in dealing with the senior, the senior community with respect to the elderly and the unique challenges that they face throughout their daily lives. There's no one client that's the same. There's no one, same answer for everybody. Everybody is really just unique individuals and should be respected as such, and really given the time of day to know that, hey, look, you're important. You're important to us, not only as an individual, but as part of our community, and we want to take care of each other. So again, thank you so much for your time and for coming on. For anybody that wants to know more, feel free to reach out. unioncountync.gov /seniormeals, or give them a call. You can sign up as a volunteer or get started to be as part of the program. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Ms. Colson, for coming on.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, you too.